midst of the tumultuous 1600s, I was ensnared in a life of piracy, deception, and moral decay. The seas were my domain, and my ship was a vessel of lawlessness. Little did I know that my reckless path would lead me to an encounter that would reshape my destiny. I grew up in the coastal town of Portchester, surrounded by tales of adventure and opportunity on the high seas. As a young man, the allure of exploration and the promise of riches drew me to a crew of pirates. Our ship, the Crimson Dagger, became a symbol of terror as we plundered and pillaged our way through the Caribbean waters. For years, I embraced this life, relishing in the power and freedom it seemed to offer. Yet beneath the bravado, I carried a heavy burden of guilt. The lives we had taken, the villages we had destroyed. They haunted my dreams and ate at my conscience. It was during a stormy night at sea that the course of my life dramatically shifted. Our ship was battered by fierce waves, and the winds howled like demons of the deep. In the midst of this chaos, a bolt of lightning struck our mast, sending it crashing down. We were left adrift at the mercy of the tempest. As I clung to a piece of wreckage, my heart filled with desperation. In that moment of vulnerability, a memory from my childhood emerged.
Only you can find Jesus.
A memory of my mother, teaching me about Jesus and his love. In the depths of that storm, I cried out to the God I had long abandoned, confessing my sins and pleading for mercy. Incredibly, the storm began to abate, the winds quieting and the waves subsiding. It was as if an unseen hand had stilled the tempest. Amidst the eerie calm, a sense of awe overcame me. Could this be the work of the God I had forsaken? Miraculously, drifted to an uncharted island. As we explored its shores, we stumbled upon a group of missionaries, English settlers who had established a small community in pursuit of their faith. Their kindness and hospitality stood in stark contrast to the ruthless life I had led. One evening around a crackling campfire, I shared my life story with the missionaries. I spoke of the crimes I had committed, the lives I had shattered, and the emptiness that had consumed me. The leader of the group, a man named Reverend Simmons, spoke to me with compassion and understanding. He told me of a Savior who had come to redeem even the most lost and wayward souls. Over the following weeks, I immersed myself in the words of the Bible that Reverend Simmons shared with me. As I read about Jesus' sacrificial love and his power to transform lives, I began to see a glimmer of hope. The weight of my guilt and shame started to lift, replaced by a newfound understanding that forgiveness was within reach. One evening, beneath a starlit sky, I knelt by the shoreline and poured out my heart to Jesus. I confessed my sins and acknowledged my need for a Savior. In that sacred moment, I felt a peace unlike anything I had ever known. It was as if the storms within my soul had finally been stilled. With the guidance of the missionaries, I made amends for my past deeds as best I could. I chose to leave behind the life of piracy and embrace a new path. It wasn't easy, as I faced the scorn of my former crewmates, but the hope I had found in Jesus gave me strength. In the years that followed, I joined the missionaries in their efforts to spread the message of Christ's love. We sailed back to England, where I shared my testimony with those who had known me as a pirate. Many were astonished by the transformation they witnessed in my life, and some even chose to follow Jesus themselves. Looking back on my journey from darkness to light, I am humbled by the grace that rescued me from the abyss. My life stands as a testament to the unchanging love of Jesus, a love that can reach even the most hardened hearts and lead them to redemption. Through storms and struggles, I have found a purpose far greater than the riches I once sought, a purpose rooted in sharing the good news of salvation with all who will listen.